A group of students of English C1 integrated by
Wendy Taipe,
de José Tuasa.
and Juan Pablo Vargas create this podcast about the first part of the book Crime and Punishment written by Dostoevsky Fedor, where there will be a tour together with Rodion Raskolnikov as the main protagonist, discovering the important aspects of the plot, discussing his quotes and analyzing this intriguing story, and the reason why he committed his acts.
the novel tells the history of Rodion Raskolnikov, a young student in St. Petersburg. He lives in poverty and he run out of resources to continue his studies. By the necessity, he pawned his watch to the landlady Alyona Ivanova, but she gave him almost no money, so he felt humiliated. Then he went to a tavern where he met Marmeladov, who married with Katerina Ivanova without love, and he never couldn't please her. He drinks a lot and she always loves him, but he is conscious that the blows believes he hurt because they had a poor life.
One day he receives a letter from his mom. It adds to his distress when he realizes how much his mother and his sister had sacrificed for him. So he decided to selling his valuables to his landlady, because in the letter it is mentioned that the money that his mother sends him is always loaned, and also that the sister is going to get married in order to have a better financial position and to be able to better support his brother. He rejects that idea, so he have resolved on a plan to change that.
He was drunk and returns home. In the middle of the market, listened to the exact moment when he had the opportunity to carry out his plan. Raskolnikov shows Alyona a wallet with money. She returns to check it, and he takes the axe out of his coat and throws it at her head. She falls and her sister enters. Raskolnikov apologizes for what happened to her, but unfortunately he had to kill her. He returns home, places the axe where he took it, and begins to think about everything he did.
Guys, what do you consider that was the most important aspects in the book?
Raskolnikov realized that he actually had the strength to commit the crime. It was no longer a moment of trembling but rather of bravery. He was surprised to see that he could to Alyona.
Yes, it is the point of Eribol, but we must consider that the reluctant moments were when he found out about her sister's Donia's engagement to Mr. Lucien, and something that altered his plan was when he heard that Aliona will be alone, and also the impact was when they killed the horse in the dream of Rodion.
The most was surprised was that Marmelado was conscious and he accepted blows from his wife. However, he didn't do anything because he felt that he deserves it for the poor life that he gave to his wife. Guys, what do you think about this phrase? Marmelado says, I try to find sympathy and feeling in drink. I drink so that I may suffer twice as much. When he talks with Raskolnikov in the tavern,
I personally think that drinking is a funky way. Instead of changing the situation, he decides to drink and keeps the things as they are, or even make them worse.
I think he drank to forget bad times he was having with his wife, and he thought it was one of the times to have fun.
And what about this phrase, let me life go, if only my dear ones may be happy?
I think that every family thinks about the well-being of their children or brother who live far from home. His family looking for his happiness, although they didn't imagine what was going to happen next.
it is a really sad phrase. I think that Dunya only wants to marry with Mr. Lucien to get not only her comfort, also the comfort of his family. I think also her decision bars the idea and Raskolnikov would want to murder to the landlady and rob her furniture.
This phrase caught my attention. Hundreds of lies, they could be on the right track. What do you think?
Although to use it seems like a common phrase, for Rodin it inspires him to believe that it's also for other people and not only for him.
He says this phrase because in him was war ahead to Alyona Ivanova for her greed. So he thinks that the best that can he do is murder her, and with her fortune, he can do good things for other people.
And a general way, what do you consider that book?
Psychological, because we see constant self questioning, contradictory ideas, and your actions of certain way crazy. For example, in the moment when they find a girl with the police and then saying to let her have fun.
For me, this is the one of the best words that it makes us aware of the tension that a man can undergo when having a great weight of him, which was that of the mother. A really good book to analyze and reflect.
I think it's a book where you can analyze the thoughts, especially of Raskolnikov, the main character. I can say that the book is delving into the psychology because along the part one he's developing his ideas upon how to murder the landlady. However, we should read the whole book, shouldn't we?
Yes, finally, I come to the conclusion that if the man commits a crime, no matter how hard he tries to cover it, his conscience tells him to reflect.
In conclusion, I can say that behind every crime, behind every violent act, or behind every evil deed, there is always a reason. In this story, he did it to avoid that his sister sacrificed herself, that her mother continues fighting, but it can also say that the way he did it was not correct, because he always wanted to be a wealthy guy, but this time I am looking for a quickly way out, caused by desperation.
This book tells us interesting story about how your man can influence on you. Also how the lack money or a bit of life can do act us with a different behavior to get what we need. Even we can murder people. Thanks.